Rahway native Frank Thorne is a comic book artist and writer who has had a long and storied career. Born in Union County, June 16, 1930, this wizard of fantasy began his career penciling several romance stories for Standard Comics at 18 years old. Thorne worked on a multitude of comics after graduation through the 1950s and 60s. Included among his projects, he drew the Perry Mason newspaper strip for King Features and turned out stories for Dell Comics. At Dell, Flash Gordon, Jungle Jim, Tomahawk, Mighty Samson, Enemy Ace, and the Green Hornet were all comics he drew or penned for. Thorne was honored with a National Cartoonists Award in 1963. Later, Frank released his graphic novel adaptation of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and in 1970 wrote and drew Our Subject, the illustrated history of Union County, for the Elizabeth Daily Journal. That long-running paper met its end in the late 90s. By all accounts, his work was rather thorough, with over 100 pages dedicated to maintaining the history of the oldest English settlements of New Jersey. It has been 50 years since its release, and the Truth About Colonial Linden team has added minor updates after his pages. This as new information has come to light, or in cases of our altered interpretations. That said, a scant few of these are any more than additional historical info we wish to include. A fine work by this Jersey legend. Frank Thorne's comic book breakthrough was in 1975 when he was asked to draw Red Sonja for Marvel Comics. The goddess eroticism of this project would set his path for the 4 decades after. Red Sonja led him to create the highly erotic woman warrior Gita of Alazar in 1978. Also in that year, Thorne won the San Diego Inkpot Award given by Playboy for character Moonshine McJugs, Warren Magazine's best comic for Gita of Alazar, and the New Jersey Art Directors Club. Frank's style of erotic fantasy and superb artistry led to the Iron Devil and the Devil's Angel in the 90s, and has kept elevating the Rahway native. Now known as the Dirty Old Man of Comics, he yearly judges Red Sonja lookalikes. The Truth About Colonial Linden Project, an area historical group aided by Minutemen Media, will present icon Frank Thorne's entire 1970s series, The Illustrated History of Union County, published in the Elizabeth Daily Journal in an educational frame. This comic, colorized by contributors Jason Phillips and Phil Szabo, will be available page to page, week to week, as it was in 1970. Here in this video series, we are reading the work, presenting our colorization, providing insights, with Phil Szabo's animation of Frank Thorne's original comic strip to provide an extensive yet palatable compilation of the history of Union County. A history which includes the artistic achievement of Rahway-born Scotch Plains resident and local icon, Frank Thorne. We end the prelude and begin the series with page 1 of Frank Thorne's The Illustrated History of Union County, published by the Elizabeth Daily Journal in 1970. To begin the story of this county, we turn the clock back 65 million years. At this time, Union County was at the bottom of a vast ocean infested with swarms of strange sea creatures. The seas gradually receded, cataclysmic upheavals formed the Watchung mountain range. Soon the land became a primeval jungle. As recently as 100,000 BC, the Great Glacier covered Union County, often 3 miles high. During an early period of life, there is evidence that dinosaurs roamed the jungles of Union County. Giant mammoths, mastodons, and the ferocious peccaries were also found in this area at the time. Through countless ages, Union County knew only these aboriginal inhabitants. Then, millions of years after the monsters had vanished, a tiny white sail appeared on the horizon, and a new era began.